Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show. And today we're going to talk about September, aka RekTember, or will it be UpTember or ChopTember? We're going to look at all those scenarios and a whole bunch more. And of course, before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people, and of course does help support the channel. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Smash that subscribe button. Well, first of all, before we jump into all that, let's look at the key economic events that are coming up this week. And of course, we do have all this job data coming up. Why is this important? Because if the jobs reports and weak, this will strengthen the position of the Fed to cut rates come mid-September. Okay. However, if these job reports all come in fairly strong or stronger than expected, that would weaken the position for the rate cut in September. And of course, what could happen is we could have a weak jobs reports. And then what happens on September 11th, though, if CPI comes in hot, there'll be concern about the Fed possibly cutting rates into rising inflation, which they stated that they were prepared to do. And this all leads us to a very uncertain September. But let's have a look at some of the historical data. Then we're going to have a look at the charts. Now, for the stock market, historically, it has not been the best, okay? When the S&P 500 in August is up over 1%, at least 5 all-time highs. The following months in September, it's never been higher. It's always been lower. It's always been negative. Most are expecting a red September in the stock market. And we'll look at the SPY at the moment. We have seen a pullback in the pre-market. However, let's talk about Bitcoin there. And of course, when we look at Bitcoin, RekTember, September is on average, and this is where people are getting a little bit astray here. On average, it has been the worst performing month for Bitcoin, but not the last 2 years. 2023 and 2024 has been strong after 6 straight red Septembers. And in fact, it was 8 out of the last 10 were red, and all of a sudden we had 2 green in a row, which hadn't happened for over 10 years. Now, this is now August. Is August the new September? Because now we've had 4 red Augusts in a row, and the last 2 times we had red August, it was followed by a green September, which leads into the theory that people are starting to dump in August in anticipation of a red September, and now September is not red, it's green. However, remember, that's how September closes, not necessarily how it opens. Now, of course, the average low for the month of September is around the middle of the month. Okay, so which leads us to that the downside happens in the first week or 2 in September, and then there has been a pump out of September into, and that's why it has closed green there. Okay, so that's very, very interesting. But what is going to control much, if not all, of this price action is what happens here and the following week with the CPI. Let's have a look at the charts. We're going to look at SPY first. And as I shared earlier, we are in the pre-market below the 20 EMA. There's the 20 EMA. There's the 9 EMA. We've lost the 9 EMA, and now we've lost the 20 EMA. I'm going to go to the 12-minute chart, 12-hour chart here just to see. So this red line here is the 20 EMA on the daily and the pink, and we are seeing that break below. And so we do have a red dot on the 12 hours. I do think we're going to get a bearish reversal signal when the daily chart doesn't, only the price shows. The indicators will catch up when the market goes live at 9:30 a.m. And I do expect a bearish reversal signal to print, and am front running that at the moment there on the SPY chart. But you can see on the 12-hour, we've got that bearish reversal signal, and we have lost the 9 EMA on the daily, and currently we're losing the 20 EMA on the daily as well. And of course, if we do see the 9 cross below the 20, that would not be a good sign for the SPY. Where are some levels to the downside that I'm looking? To the downside is going to be the 50-day moving average at $630, and that a retest around that area. However, it might not quite get to that because the 9 EMA on the weekly, which is rising, is almost at 632, and there is a Fibonacci level there at 634, and we've already had a couple of wicks down into that area. So that's a possibility for the SPY for September there, and those are the levels to watch. Of course, if we do see a bounce, first of all, we do have to break back above, and we're trying to here, the 20 EMA on the daily, but then you've got that 642 and that 645 level there. So it's looking a little bit of a weak time for the stock market for September. I'm going to go with the trend here, the seasonal trend, that September is more of a down, sideways, chop timber. I wouldn't say RekTember for stocks like I would for crypto there, but a little bit of a down, pause, sideways month there, and might give some opportunities to reposition for October there. Let's have a quick look at the Bitcoin charts here. And of course, what we saw was holding the line on the 20 EMA on the weekly. There's also a Fibonacci level there at 108,000, and that level held. We did have the green dot reversal, which pushed price up from 108 to 110, where we have again retested the 9 EMA in the daily. Now, these green dots are great, and they can give you little short gains. You can go long there quickly, but as soon as it hits the 9 EMA, and if it doesn't break through, that's where close the position, take some profit there. And of course, it was to break through the 9 EMA on the daily there at 110,500, could reopen a new position to the upside. But again, the last few times we've had it, since we broke down here at Bitcoin's all-time high, with the tribal trades indicator accurately again has indicated the top or close to the top there. And of course, 100, once we lost the 9 EMA in the daily, 118, that was the time to pull the plug on trades, and of course that's what happened, and therefore, and then the 9 went under the 20, and that just led to we've got a green dot reversal that saw a little bit of upside, rejected ultimately at the 9 and the 20 and the 50 all together. We came back, we got another bullish reversal, but it got stopped at the 9, and currently we're seeing the same thing here. So here's a couple of plays. One, if we can break above this level and hold it and close above this level, I'd like to see multiple closes there, but this will be where I will take an entry here on the 9 EMA, getting above the 9 EMA, of course, but there is some resistance to the upside, immediate resistance at 111,700, the 100 EMA on the daily, and the 20 EMA is just above at 112, 113 for the 50 EMA on the daily, and the 50-day moving average 115. So those will be the levels to the upside. Any rejection there, and could be a closed trade situation. Of course, any loss of the 9 EMA, if it was to get up, would be an exit of that trade. Now, of course, a rejection here, we've gone short, gave these levels in the Tribal Trades Discord. I gave longs over the Labor weekend there. I said any hold of the 108 level could long up. And of course, the 9 EMA was our target, and we got that. And I originally gave the short level from the loss of the 100-day moving average of 111 down to 108. So I gave that level to short. That target played out exactly that I gave it, all the way down to 108, and then the 108 level back to here to 110,500. Initially, we have been rejected. Now, of course, rejection here could lead us back to 108 most likely. If we continue to bang away on this level, we eventually will lose this level and come down to 104, and then $101,000 there for Bitcoin. Now, if we jump over to the Tribal Trades Discord, wanted to share about our $1,000 a day challenge. Some people have been taking that challenge up. Now, of course, the goal isn't that people immediately try and do the $1,000 a day challenge. Can start with $50 a day, that we try and trade and make $50 a day or $100 a day, or even $200 a day. Start somewhere, but the goal is to work up to $1,000 a day. And this is incredible. April Parker met that daily goal on the button at $1,000. ValueWix, I want to give a big shout out to ValueWix. We've been in the Discord for months, and since the beginning, one of the Tribal Trades Discord OGs, but never thought they could handle leverage and understand the charts for crypto plays. just DCA, buying in the spot, buying dips that keep dipping, and but wanted to be the first to admit that would come off as frustrated and wasn't seeing the spot positions profit. And looking back, it was because I wasn't following the learnings and I wasn't simply didn't know what I was doing. And very good. And all this to say, okay, well, what happened there? Well, if we see here is, I love it here, continuing that. I used to have the mindset that crypto is luck. But once you learn the chart and certain coins trade in combination with the tribal trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all, it's a completely different game. This is ValueWick's first time trading with leverage trades. And here is the proof. The first 7 days made $5,000, okay? And this is a person who is a nurse here, a travel nurse, who works 3 days a week nursing and then has some time off to trade. And if they can do it, I believe anybody can do it. And of course, we have this $1,000 a day challenge. My goal is for everybody in the Discord who wants to take up this challenge to eventually be earning $1,000 per day. And of course, some people are going to start off with the goal of $50 per day, some people $100 today. If you would like to join us in this challenge, you can join the Tribal Trades Discord. There is a link below in the description of this video. You might need to click the more button. It'll pop up and there is a link there. Now, however, the Discord is closed, but we are going to be opening it up before the end of this year. I had it open in January when we first launched. We had it open in June, and I will open it again. But also the value of getting on the wait list sooner rather than later is also, if anybody is not able to renew their subscription, I am moving people off the wait list into the main area of the Discord before then. And of course, when we do open the Discord, it's not just going to be a free for all. We're going to move people off the wait list into the main area of the Discord, and the higher you up on the wait list, the sooner you get access to the Tribal Trades Indicator, which comes as part of, some people ask, is it an additional cost? No, it's a paid indicator, but it comes as part of your payment for the Tribal Trades Discord. You pay for the Discord, you get the indicator as part of it, as well as all the life-changing gains trading courses, what ValueWick was talking about, all of the incredible live sessions, 2 to 3 live sessions per week, and a whole bunch more there as well in the Tribal Trades Discord. And don't forget, look, at any time Bitcoin could take off and not come back, or at any time Bitcoin could lose this level and drop heavily. It's at a pivotal moment at this time. And so there is a trade there above 110,500. It breaks the upside, and if it just keeps going, we could see this move forward, and we have an early low in September. Maybe September 1st was the low of the month. It's quite possible. However, maybe there's more of a low of a month coming, and we do drop further to the 200 and EMA and the 200-day moving average. I want to know what your thoughts are. Do you think it's going to be RekTember? Do you think we are going to visit these lower levels here? Do you think it's over? Do you think the top is in? Or do you think we're going to rally in September, as we have done in the last 2 years, where we have rallied in September? And September in 2023 and 2024 has led to some significant moves to the upside, as you can see here. If we go back to where are we? Back to September. There we go. September in 2024, the low, and look what happened as a result. And if we go to September of 2023, we see a very similar move to the upside there. Of course, September 2022 was the bear market. So far in this cycle, September has been UpTember. Might have been downward to begin with up until about the middle of the month, the first week or two of the month, but then rallied and closed green and actually led off October, November, December to be extremely bullish for the markets in also 2023 or 2024. So don't write off September like many are. Be prepared to trade the trend, because the trend is your friend until the end, and then we start a new trend. Some people are saying, hey, they're preparing to buy the dip in September, but what if the dip has already taken place? Okay, the dip might have already taken place in September, and therefore the low is possibly already in, or possibly is going to be in early September. So I just want to keep your mind open for any scenario that may take place and may happen. And of course, that's all very important in regards to trading, because you don't want to get left behind and you didn't end up buying the dip. All right, that's all we have time for today. But of course, until next episode, or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.